Let's keep it real for a second. Have you ever been lying in bed at 6 a.m., the alarm screaming at you, and you tell yourself, just 5 more minutes. If I sleep a little longer, I'll wake up and be twice as productive. And then, boom, you open your eyes and it's noon. Or maybe you daydream about that successful life, the wealth, the six-pack abs. But when it's time to actually do the work, you choose to doom scroll on your phone and recite that familiar magic spell. I'll start tomorrow. If that hits a little too close to home, this video is for you. Today, I'm not here to go drill sergeant on you or scream that you need to hustle 20 hours a day. Instead, I'm going to tell you 3 stories. Stories about the laziest, most failed individuals who found a way to trick their brains into reaching the top. And trust me, the second story might completely change how you view your own messy career path. If you are ready to stop being held hostage by your own bed, go ahead and smash that like button right now. Consider that your first commitment of the day. Let's dive in. Once upon a time, in a small, peaceful village surrounded by green hills, lived a young blacksmith named Ethan. Ethan wasn't stupid. In fact, he was incredibly strong, smart, and had hands so skilled, the villagers used to say, if Ethan actually tried, he could forge a sword that cuts through iron like butter. But Ethan had a massive problem. He was lazy, world-class lazy. Every morning, instead of firing up the furnace, Ethan would lounge around, sip tea, and watch the clouds float by. He'd tell himself, "It's too nice out to work. I'll start tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'm going to grind hard." Meanwhile, his workshop was piling up with rusted iron and half-finished plows. Farmers came asking for tools, guards came asking for swords, and Ethan would just smile and say, "Relax, I'm waiting for inspiration. You can't rush art." Sound familiar? We usually call that waiting for the right mood. Things were fine until one day, the village elder showed up and said, "Ethan, your laziness is hurting the village. No plows, no swords. If you don't change, you're out." That night, Ethan sat alone in his cold workshop. He realized a painful truth. A grand dream means nothing if you can't force yourself to finish one small task. But he had no idea how to beat the laziness inside him.
The next morning, an old master blacksmith named Samuel visited. Samuel looked at Ethan and said something I want you to burn into your memory. Listen, kid, talent doesn't make you great. Discipline does. You have to force yourself to work even when you don't want to. Discipline is like iron. It only gets hard if you forge it every day. Samuel gave him a challenge. Don't think about forging 100 swords. Just work for 5 minutes. That's it. Then 10 minutes. Don't wait for inspiration. Inspiration is a traitor. Action is the only thing that's loyal to you. Ethan tried it. The first day, his hands hurt, his eyes were heavy. He wanted to quit. But he remembered the old man's words, just 5 minutes. And then, 5 minutes turned into an hour. A plow was finished. The feeling was strange. It wasn't exhaustion. It was pride.
Slowly, Ethan realized, when you take action, inspiration follows. He became the best blacksmith in the region, not because he was the most talented, but because he was the only one who picked up the hammer on the days he just wanted to sleep. You see, we usually think we need motivation before we act, but science, and Ethan's story, proves the opposite. Action creates motivation. Don't wait until you feel like going to the gym or studying. Use Ethan's 5-minute rule. Right now, I want you to comment down below one tiny task you've been putting off all week, and promise me you will do it for just 5 minutes immediately after this video ends. Just 5 minutes. Write it down. I'm waiting. If Ethan's story was about laziness, this next one is for anyone feeling lost or like you're wasting your youth. Meet William. He's 25, smart, educated, but he's the laughingstock of the village. Why?
Because William never finishes anything. William tried farming. 6 months later, he got bored and quit. He tried carpentry, spent 3 years learning to plane wood and carve, then quit. He switched to blacksmithing, learned to smelt iron and bend steel. 2 years later, quit again. Then he became a scribe, learned to read, write, and do math. And guess what? He quit that too. By the time he was 33, William's friends were settled down, houses built, careers made. And William? Still empty-handed. The villagers whispered, "That William? A perfect failure. Knows a little about everything. Master of nothing." Does anyone watching this feel like William? Job hopping, learning random skills, but feeling like you're not an expert in anything. It feels terrible, right? William cried many nights thinking he was useless. But there was one thing the villagers didn't see. One day, a wealthy lord came to the village. He wanted to build a magnificent gate for his castle. His requirements were insane. The gate had to have an intricate wooden frame, but a reinforced solid iron core. And it needed ancient inscriptions carved into it, detailing his family history. The best carpenter shook his head. "I only know wood, I can't work with iron." The best blacksmith waved his hand. "I can't carve letters." The scribe said, "I only write on paper, don't ask me to swing a hammer." The lord was disappointed. Just then, the failure, William, stepped forward. His voice shook, but he stood firm. "My lord, I can do it. All 3 parts." The village laughed, but the lord gave him a shot. William got to work. His hands remembered the feel of the wood from his 3 years as a carpenter. His muscles remembered how to bend iron from his 2 years as a smith. And his mind recalled the calligraphy from his time as a scribe. For 8 years, William hadn't been wasting time. He had been quietly collecting puzzle pieces. He wasn't quitting. He was stacking skills. His brain had been rewired through every single so-called failure. When the gate was finished, it was a masterpiece. The village was silenced. William went from a failure to the most sought-after master in the region. William's story teaches us a massive lesson. Never underestimate the time you spend feeling lost. If you are trying this, failing at that, don't panic. You are in the forge. You are collecting a unique stack of skills that no one else has. One day, all those random pieces will click together, and you will be the only person capable of solving a problem that no one else can touch. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Keep grinding in the dark, and let your success make the noise. If you believe you are stacking skills and not failing, share this video with a friend who feels stuck right now. Sometimes, that share button is the lifeline they need today. We've talked about starting and persisting when lost, but how do you stay focused when the world is so loud? When Instagram, TikTok, and Netflix are constantly screaming your name? Let's look at the final short story about a boy named Aaron. Aaron was brilliant, but his mind was like a monkey, jumping everywhere, never focused for more than 5 minutes. A wise teacher handed Aaron a cup of water filled to the brim and said, "Walk a full circle around this garden, but do not spill a single drop." Aaron started walking. Around him, birds were chirping, kids were playing tag, the wind was blowing. Every time he turned to look at a bird, water splashed out. Every time he looked at his friends laughing, water spilled. By the time he got back, the cup was half empty. The teacher said, "This cup is your goal. The noise out there is the world. If you let your mind chase every noise, you will lose the most precious thing in your hands." The lesson? Focus is just like keeping that cup full. You cannot expect to be productive while also trying to keep up with every internet drama. So how do you force focus? Use the nothing strategy. Tonight,
Write down the one most important thing for tomorrow. Just one. And tomorrow morning, use the 5-second rule. Count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and launch into that task immediately, before your brain has time to come up with an excuse.
Treat your phone like enemy number one during work hours. Throw it in the other room. My friends, life waits for no one. The philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." We waste time being afraid, being lazy, waiting for a perfect tomorrow that never comes. Imagine one day you are old, lying in a hospital bed, looking back at your life. What do you want to remember? The mornings you hit snooze and the days you scrolled endlessly? Or do you want to remember the moments you forced yourself up, pushed past the comfort, and built something amazing, like Ethan or William? The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. You have two seeds in your soul, the seed of ambition and the seed of laziness. The laziness seed needs no care. It grows like a weed and chokes your dreams. The ambition seed needs you to water it with sweat and discipline every single day. Don't let the weeds overtake the garden of your life. Today, right now, pick that one hard thing you've been avoiding and do it. Not tomorrow, now. And if you want more stories to help water that seed of ambition, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We'll be back with more stories to help you become the best version of yourself. Thanks for listening. Remember, you aren't lazy, you're just gathering energy for your next giant leap. Now, get up and get to work.